All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you as
Awesome.
well. Sweet.
Awesome. Awesome.
Heck
So
yeah.
how we doing? You good?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Let me
Awesome.
try to switch. I have you on a different screen. I'm trying to switch this though so I can throw you on a different one here. Boom.
Awesome.
Got it.
Awesome.
All right, cool. I think we're good. Can you see me?
I can.
All that good stuff. All right, cool,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Sounds good.
All right. So how we doing
All
today? You
right.
good?
Yeah, doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah.
Just chilling. Little sore today since we did that we did a music video yesterday.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely feeling a little sore today on all that, but
Yeah.
all good stuff though.
That's good then. That's good. So yeah, this shouldn't take
Yeah.
too long. It's probably about a half hour or so.
Okay, sounds good,
I'm
man.
yeah, I'm new to this, so bear with me. So
No, you're good. You're
all
good,
right.
dude. Is that a cattle decap shirt you're wearing?
Yeah, just I got it yesterday actually.
Oh, sick. Oh, you just saw him yesterday?
No, I got it. We're going to the Chaos and Carnage in a
Oh
couple
yeah.
in a couple like I think what is it, the 23rd or something out here.
Okay, the
So
23rd.
I got a shirt before
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
shoot. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
sick, man. I have a few cattle shirts myself, so that's awesome.
Hell yeah. Cattle's yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, they're sick, man. I really
Yeah.
like them a lot.
Yeah.
Crazy story. I actually hit I hit a horse in one of my ex-girlfriend's cars in the middle of the night on a two-lane highway because it was around a blind corner and
Yeah.
there was horses blocking the entire road. So there's nothing you can do while listening to a cattle decapitation album. So it was
Nice.
pretty metal, dude.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
the hell?
I know.
Do you remember the song?
Oh damn. I wish I could tell you that much. I know it was their newest album where they just started doing the like the I'm not gonna call it clean singing, but like the
His like high pitched little singing stuff
yeah,
that he does.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was that album and I just put it on and yeah, that crazy stuff happened. So
Yeah.
yeah, insane.
Yeah. What are you looking for, babe? Oh, crayons for the baby. Got it. So yeah, just tell me a little bit about how you guys decided to start stuff for the nine.
Yeah, for sure, man. So it'd been on my mind for a while to kind of start, some kind of project just on the side to kind of get that creative outlet going. So it was probably maybe about a year ago where I told Kenny that I kind of wanted to just start something. Not so much like a project, with like five dudes where, we have everyone involved in this and that because I
Yeah.
think not saying there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes it makes things very difficult to
Mhm.
be in a band because you're like in a band with a bunch of other people which have a bunch of opposing personalities,
Yep.
opposing decisions. And it's a lot easier to like hash things out when it's just like a couple of you, or
Yep.
now that we've brought Tony into it officially, just three of us. So it's a lot easier to make decisions. It's a lot easier to decide like on album artwork or, what are the lyrics going to be of the song, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was about a year ago, and I told Kenny I wanted to kind of start a project and just started investing and writing some of the songs and stuff like that. So I think the first release we did, I had wrote last year sometimes, but the ones that we just released, those are like newer ones. So
Yeah.
some have been in the vault, but yeah, that's kind of what it was. It was just something that I wanted to do and asked Kenny about getting together to do it, and it was just a matter of time. And I said, I think we should put something out before the end of last year, which we did December like 30th, 2023. And then we were just on a schedule ever since, man.
Yeah. That's awesome. I know that you guys have a few other projects going too, right? I mean, you're still
Yeah,
doing Veil of Creation, right? And all that other.
yeah. So Veil Miscreation was that was one of the technical death metal bands that we were in before, and we had been, in that for quite some time.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of that's what led me into Rose Funeral, is because I was able to connect with those guys via
Okay.
that band because we played shows together a lot every time they came through New Mexico. So that's how I ended up with them. But yeah, we haven't really done much with Veil of Miscreation. We do have it's still there, and we have an awesome drummer. His name is Justin. He's a like a grindcore drummer.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes it's kind of hard to get studio time to record acoustic drums. I think it's a
Of
lot easier
course.
to just sound replace or program. But yeah, we still have that project. We're not doing much with it. We haven't done anything with it in quite some time. So I'd say really the only other things right now is Stuff for the Nine is definitely kind of a main focus.
Yeah.
I am still playing with Rose Funeral,
Awesome.
so I'm doing the Ohio or the Toledo Death Fest here
Nice.
in just a couple of weeks with Oceano and Casket
Yeah.
Robbery and some other bands on that. So we're really looking forward to that. And I know there's some dates, I think in August somewhere that we're going to be doing as well. And I believe Kenny's going to be possibly on those dates as well. So
Awesome. That's cool.
some good stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
and then I've been doing solos for this other project out of Colorado called Skinned. I don't know
Okay.
if you ever heard of the band.
No,
They're
I'll have to
there's
look that
some
up.
yeah, they're cool ass dudes. Skin. They just released a video actually that I did a guest solo on just probably a month or two ago.
Okay.
We shot the video sometime last year, but really cool idea for the project where he's getting kind of musicians from around the world to collaborate on a song. Really cool. I'll send you the link after this call so you
Okay.
can check it
Awesome. Yeah.
out. But
That'd be
yeah,
sweet.
aside from that, man, that's pretty much all we got going on. Just mainly stuff for the nine, though.
It's I always find it cool when artists, or I mean I shouldn't say artists, when people in general just have outlets to do certain things.
Hmm.
Like there's different styles that you can do. And I know
Right,
that stuff for the nine is a little bit more of like that straight up deathcore with like the breakdowns and a little slower. And then you guys
right,
have the technical side on the other band. And then, you know, it's just cool to have a little bit of everything. You play a little deeper in one band and a little faster in another, and
right,
you know,
right, right.
you get the best of
Absolutely.
both worlds. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree more. I really like that. And maybe sometime I would not be opposed to doing stuff for the nine, like more technical shit too,
Yeah.
and just see what everyone thinks about it. So I think that'd be sick as well.
Of course. Of course. So yeah, is there an album date for the album, or is there
Yeah, that's a tough decision. We get asked a lot, where's the EP or where's the album? And I don't
Mhm.
know that I think we're going to do one, but I think like I was telling you, we've been on a schedule right now to kind of release music every
Yeah.
60 days, which is kind of
Okay.
holding us accountable to release stuff. So if you look at the trajectory, so the first one was December 30th, the
Mm-hmm.
second single, Keep Her a Breath, was February 28th.
Yep.
And then Darkness Unseen was April 30th. So it's literally every
Okay.
60 days
So
that
we're
we're
looking for June next one.
exactly, yeah,
Awesome. Okay.
exactly. So already kind of got that cooking. We're ma making some edits and stuff to it, but
Awesome.
yeah, potentially looking for June on that, which again, we've been pretty good about holding ourselves accountable. And I guess one of the reasons for that too is, I've been in bands a long time, and I think, I'm guilty of this too, but I think bands fall in that whole, big things coming soon
Mm-hmm.
for forever. It's just a
Yep.
forever series of big
Yep.
things coming soon. Hey, here's a teaser of the album. Okay, and then it never comes. And here's a video of what we're writing, and then it never comes. And
Yes.
this and that. So with us, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to be the big things coming soon forever, just not, just forever like it's coming, it's coming. I just want to just pump out just music. Let's just pump music out. That way there is no like, well, what are they doing? No, I'm telling you what I'm doing. Here's what we're putting out, and we're going to continue to put it out. And just,
Yep.
I think we're in that kind of mindset right now is where we're at.
Yeah. Well, that's good though, because a lot of bands too, they also kind of do what movies do, where they show you too much of the trailer,
Hmm, yeah, that's
and
true.
then when the album comes out, you already kind of heard it, and then
Yeah.
it's not a surprise anymore. So when you drop like the singles, no one's really heard them. So it's good to drop the singles, and then when the album comes out, you already know what you're getting. You're getting your
Right.
bangers, and that's just what it is.
Right.
So
Yeah. No, I think the goal would be to continue to release singles like every other month. And then in the meantime, and it's a lot of work, but in the meantime, to write like an EP or an album behind the
mhm.
singles that are being released. So I think that's eventually going to be the goal. It's just hard with
Okay.
the time. We all got lives and families and stuff like that. So it's, I think it's probably as a musician's age gets harder with the time to like
Oh yeah.
dedicate to write music and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, what is the inspiration behind like the stuff you write? Like, do you like? Because I know that when I write music, I kind of find inspiration in like movie scores or you know, just certain things give you like that inspiration. Do you have any like specific things?
Yeah, that's a good question. I know we get asked that quite a bit too in DMs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I guess for me, I'm just more and I'm not sure how much you know about like music theory and stuff like that, but I'm for sure like a harmonic minor guy. So I
Okay.
really like my harmonic minor type songs, and really
Mhm.
everything that I write, I write with like darkness in mind,
Yes,
100%.
that's the
So
same thing
hopefully
I
I don't.
do. Same thing I
I,
do.
That's awesome. I don't know if that
Yep.
translates in the music. I hope it
It
does. But
does.
yeah,
Yep.
everything's all about just darkness and taking you to dark places. So for me, just yeah, I think music is also a really visual experience. So when I listen to music, I could visualize, just like just certain, scenes or
Yep.
journeys. Like for example, Darkness Unseen. That for me was I started visualizing it when I was writing it as like as going through levels. The first
Okay.
one was like you enter a dark level and you're going through this battle, and then the next riff is like you're starting the journey of this battle, and then you
Yeah.
you have that chorus part that's kind of like a black metal area, which
Yep.
you're fighting like a boss of the level, and then you get
That's
knocked back
awesome.
to another level, and then you have the final boss for the final breakdown. So just inspiration, I guess, in thinking of scenes like that. But yeah, it's hard to say, man. And I listen to music everywhere too. So,
Yep.
everywhere, everything from technical death metal to deathcore to everything in between. Like
Yep.
I'm very picky when it comes to music, but I listen to a bunch of different stuff. But for Suffer, for sure, it's always about brutality and
Hmm.
darkness. I think those are the
Awesome.
two things always.
And that's why I enjoy it because I already know that
Awesome.
that's as soon as you hear the first song that you guys released, you can already tell that it's brutal and evil and just you can feel that in the music. It's heavy, it's dark, it's great. That's good. I love it.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you
Yeah.
can, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. What's the writing process like? Are you mostly the songwriter at the moment because of
Um,
you're the only guitar
y
player? So
Yeah, yeah. So as thus far it has been. So like the first single that we did, I wrote that song, and then Kenny added a lot of the like the choirs
okay,
and maybe some of like the toy box jingle and just a lot of the atmospheric effects.
yeah,
He did a lot of that on that one, and then Keeper of Breath was just one I had written already, so I did most of that one. And then with Darkness Unseen, I wrote that one as well, and basically Kenny's big involvement on those ones thus far has been his mastering. So what's cool
okay,
about this project too is that we're all in house, and yes, Kenny's gotten. I think even just looking from Keeper of Breath to Darkness Unseen, I don't know if you can hear it, but I just think the mixing and mastering that Kenny's doing is just
yeah,
awesome quality. It's just crazy. And then obviously Kenny's the bass on all these tracks
hmm,
as well. So that thundering bass, probably one of the best bass players that I know. So
yeah,
he's doing all the bass for all the tracks, and that really just brings out like that thump and that
hmm,
the low end there. But yeah, so far it's just been kind of writing some songs and kind of sending it to Kenny to put some bass on it, maybe add some other effects and stuff like that, and then we send it to Tony, and then
yeah.
Tony's the one that writes the lyrics and then the vocal patterns, and then we kind of push it out after Kenny mixes and masters it and makes it sound amazing. And then yeah, we just kind of go from there.
That's awesome. Yeah. So Tony just joined then this band.
Yeah. Tony
Okay.
did. Tony did. He was in Veil Miscreation as
Yes.
well. The last music video we did was with Tony, and he had been in a lot of other projects as well, growing up around the Albuquerque area and stuff. So
Hmm.
he was, I think time, because Tony has a big family, so time was of the essence for him when we
Yeah.
first started like pumping this out. But now that we've kind of been on schedule and stuff and getting a groove, Tony's had some time to do lyrics and patterns and stuff like that. So yeah, we wanted to bring him on board, and that's when we made
Awesome.
it official. So happy to have him for
Yeah,
sure.
he fits well. It's a good fit for him. So
Awesome. Yeah, no, the
yeah.
feedback has been great. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people really like the intensity that he brings to the tracks with his
Yeah.
highs and his lows and his pig squeals and all that kind of stuff. It just
Yeah.
adds another dynamic of intensity.
Well, the best part about I'm gonna say us old timers in music because I'm 40.
Yeah.
The best thing is that we still have that core and deathcore that we when we write something,
Huh?
there's still the core involved. So we have the
Right.
hardcore side. So you have like the actual screaming and the yelling and the
Right.
intensity. Those are brutal. Like there's things that are happening back in the MySpace days that are different than they are now.
Right.
But yet you can tell in your guys' music that you still write that kind of stuff, kind of like how Rose Funeral still writes that kind of stuff too, where
Right.
you go to a show, you're gonna get a better live show than most bands because that's just you're not digital, you
Hmm.
still write what you do. So it's just cool to see that still. Like,
Totally. Yeah. Totally agree, man. But yeah, that's pretty much what the writing process has been like. And again, Kenny's been writing some riffs here and there lately, and just getting the ideas flowing and just trying
Yeah.
to collaborate on what that looks like and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of been the process thus far.
Awesome. That's cool. What if you can collaborate with anybody that's not in your genre?
Oh
Since I
God,
mean, since deathcore is kind of one of those genres where like you either play guitar, drums, or you scream.
yeah,
It's kind of, you get one screamer, they're all kind of screaming. If there
right.
was one person that you can get to do anything on a track with you from any genre, who would that be?
Dang, it's a good question. So what's interesting about that question is that Kenny and I are we definitely do a lot of different we listen to a lot of different music. And
Hmm.
I think one of the cool things that, and Kenny and I have talked about this as well, to do something with like a female
Hmm.
singer. I think that'd be kind of cool to do some kind of collaboration on that. And there's a couple that come to mind. I know there's that newer band called Gore,
Yep.
and they have a female singer. I think she'd be really cool to work with. But I definitely don't want to discredit. There's another band that Kenny showed me called Breakaway. Not sure if
Hmm.
you ever heard them,
I've heard
but
Breakaway. Yeah,
Breakaway, yeah, they have another female singer, and I think that would be amazing to do something like that. So yeah, talk about opposites. It would literally be like
for
female
sure.
singing with clean vocals.
Yeah.
That would be pretty interesting to do a collab with.
Yeah, I find that question kind of, some people find it weird to answer because they don't know, it's kind of like what would your ideal show be if you could put any bands together, but yet, if Prince was still alive, that'd be my top. I want to play with Prince. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah,
how it is.
yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, and then like you guys play shows yet with
We haven't yet. So
okay.
we're still deciding what we're going to do with that. And initially I wanted it to be really just like a studio project, but I
Okay.
guess really what we're doing now is we're kind of filling it out and just seeing kind of what people think of it, if there's demand there. And we do get quite a bit of DMs, which is cool. We're always as you know, I'm always responding as much as I
Yes.
can, replying to everyone's comments and stuff like that. Just really appreciate the support because without fans and stuff like that, I mean, you're really
Nothing,
nothing. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
for
So
sure.
we always appreciate that greatly. So I'm always responding. But yeah, we have gotten a few messages. Some promoters out in Texas, California, up in the East Coast, just asking to do some shows. So I don't think we're against it. But right now we don't have enough material to do
Yeah,
a
to
show.
do it, yeah.
So yeah, we're still very young. I have to remind myself we just put out the first single in December, so
Yep.
we're still just in the process of just putting out more material, seeing what people like, kind of evolving the sound. But I'm definitely not against it at some point. We did a tour with as Rose Funeral in November, and excuse me, was able to just get a feel for kind of what that process is like because it's
Hmm.
been a while. So
For
get
sure.
a feel for all that. So definitely not against it, but I don't know that we've gotten to that point yet where we're deciding to do that. But I think we all agree it'd be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah. Especially because, like I said, it's a little different than the other bands.
Mhm.
And I think yeah. I think we would love you in California. Let's put it that way. It's been a while since we've seen you guys out here. So at
Awesome.
least me, so
Yeah. Awesome. I know it's been
yeah.
a long time.
Yeah, for sure. And then what are some of your guys' hobbies? I know that I've seen you guys doing the music video and that looked fun as shit. They just
Yeah, yeah. No, that's so hobbies like for myself definitely is doing the music thing. I like to travel a lot, so I
okay.
usually travel, and just go to, different like restaurants, try different cuisine, different cities and experiences and stuff like that. That's definitely one of my hobbies. I
Yeah.
also like to game. I don't do too much like gaming that's crazy. I just like to do like Call of Duty Warzone. That's basically
Nice.
been the game of choice for many, many years now, but I would say those are probably the main hobbies there. And then regarding Kenny, obviously the music is a big hobby.
Hmm.
Weightlifting for Kenny's a
Yeah.
huge part of his life, and that's a big hobby. And then me and Kenny also game on Warzone as well. So that's another one of his hobbies there.
Nice. What do you
And
guys
then
play it
yeah,
on Xbox or
we played on Xbox. Yeah.
okay. We'll have to play
Yep.
it one time. I have that too, so
Oh, sick. Yeah.
we'll
No,
get
that
on
sounds
that.
good, man. That sounds
Yeah.
good. And Tony's actually a really awesome artist. I'm
Is
not sure
he?
how much he draws anymore or does any kind of artwork anymore, but I mean, he was awesome. Like I said, he has a really big family. He actually hit the genetic lottery a few years
Hmm.
ago and had triplets. He wasn't
Jeez.
expecting that. I know. So he hit the genetic lottery there, and that keeps him really busy. So
I
I
bet,
guess
yeah.
one could say that, family would be a hobby. But yeah, Tony's actually a really good artist. I'm just not sure that he's doing much of it anymore.
Yeah, I mean that happens. It's just what it is. Um, and then so yeah, speaking of like the food thing, have you found a favorite city you like to go to for food or in
Um,
general?
yeah, that's a good question, man. So I would think, oh, that's a really good question. I'm trying to think some of the because
Because I know
I
that
can think.
yeah, I'm from the
Oh, go
Bay
ahead.
Area, so there's a lot of stuff in the city.
Yeah, yeah. So my
But when, it just depends on what you like to eat though.
That is true, yeah. And I have been to San Francisco and stuff, and like I think I told you before, my family is from Hayward,
Hmm.
so right there in that area as well. But yeah, it's hard to say because like if I go to LA, I know that I have LA spots I like to go to. If I go to Chicago, I got Chicago spots. If I
No,
go
see, you're well
to
traveled then,
Austin,
yeah.
yeah, I got my Austin spots. If I go to Miami, I know where I want to go. If I go to New York, I know some places. If I go to Denver, I know my spot. Phoenix, I
Yeah.
know my spot. Albuquerque have spots. Boise, Idaho, I got my spots. So it's hard to
That's cool though that you have like a list of like no matter where you go, you're good.
yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Or I like to just try new things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to say, but yeah, man, there's a lot of good stuff out there. And I'm not too picky these days, but yeah, that's a hard question to answer.
Yeah. Um, we'll bring back to the music side now. So when you started playing guitar, I don't know what years this was, but who was an inspiration? What made you pick up the instrument?
Yeah, so that's a crazy question. So I never thought about playing guitar, and I guess if I really reflect on it, me being like super young, I think my
Hmm.
grandfather had a guitar for me, and I kind of messed with it then, and I had like a little keyboard and stuff and messed with it, but never considered it like very serious.
Yeah.
One of my best friends, Steven, one day in high school, he had brought home a guitar, and he was like playing, I think he was playing System of a Down, Sugar. And then he
Okay.
was also playing that little lead from The Unforgiven, the first little notes there. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool because it sounds just like that song you were playing,
Yeah.
whatever that band is, System of a Down, whoever those guys are. I was like, that's pretty crazy. And I was like, do you mind if I like take this home with me today so I can like practice that?
Yeah.
And he said, sure. So I took it home for a while, dude. And then yeah, that was kind of it, man. I just
Yeah.
never I got my own eventually, and I never stopped from that point. So first thing I ever played was probably System of a Down, Sugar, that little lead.
Dun dun dun
And
dun
then
dun. Yeah.
yeah, and then The
Yeah.
Unforgiven, that little lead in The Unforgiven. Those are probably the two things I first
Okay.
played ever, actually.
That's cool. Yeah, because I mine was more. I had a buddy whose dad. We had a band with his dad, so we were like
Oh wow,
13,
okay.
and his dad was the singer of the band. So we were playing like Chicago and Boston and
Whoa.
stuff like that. So my first song I ever learned how to play was 250624 on
Oh wow.
and I started on bass,
Oh, okay,
and then
gotcha.
and then I switched. And then once I went to high school, it was new metal, so Mudvayne, Slipknot,
Oh yeah.
Deftones, and then I switched
Yep.
to guitar, and then ever since then it's been giving me more strings, make it deeper, and you know
Yep,
more
exactly.
brutal and stuff like that. So yeah,
That's
that's
awesome,
cool.
man.
System of a Down Sugar is one of my favorite System songs, though. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
that's
that's
a good one.
that whole album is like when they were
Oh
raw
yeah,
and really heavy and stuff, and
oh
I
yeah.
love that. I love that
That
stuff.
was the prime days of music back then
Oh yeah. No, I
for me
totally
at least.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
uh, yeah. And so like there was no, you don't have like a guitar hero then.
Oh, well, I mean,
I
wow,
mean maybe.
when it comes to Guitar Heroes, that's a long list for
Yeah,
sure.
like if you
I
could
would
see
say
anybody live that, because mine's like Devin Townsend. You know what I mean? If I could see Devin Townsend play his stuff live, then I'll be good. So like, yeah, is there one like that for you?
so that's a tough one because obviously I take a lot of inspiration from like neoclassical, so
Okay.
like Ingve and
Mm.
and that kind of genre of music. But I think my biggest probably when it comes to like solos and just guitar work is going to be from the band Necrophagus. If you've
Okay.
ever heard of
I have.
Necrophagus, Tech Death. So Muhammad, the guitar
Okay.
player, and it's hard for me to say if I've ever seen him, if I could see him live. I have seen Necrophagus live, probably three or four
Okay.
times, which is awesome. Got to meet the guy, super cool. But I think I take most inspiration for solos and stuff like that from Necrophagus and
Okay.
Muhammad because he's just, and if you listen to his soloing, it's kind of neoclassical anyway.
Hmm.
So it's right up there with that same style that I really love to listen to. So,
for sure.
but yeah, today, I mean, yeah, when it comes to guitarists, man, I listen to everything like Jason Richardson to
Yep,
Ingve to the Muhammad stuff to more modern players. I mean, I'm just all over it.
yeah,
Whatever it is, for sure.
for
Yeah, and
sure.
Devin Townsend's a good one too. I like that.
Yeah. I just like Devin. He's a little different than ever all the other musicians. He does his own thing, and it's just
Yeah.
he's great. Yeah, he sings good and everything's. I don't know. He's just one of
Yeah,
those
no,
people
he's
to me.
and
Yeah,
he's a cool dude too, man.
yeah, that's what I've heard.
I used to go to Nam every year. I would go to Nam a lot of the times, and I met him with what's his name from Corn, not Monkey,
Head.
Head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Devin Townsend, Head, and then Tosin from Animals as
Abasi.
Leaders.
Yeah,
They were chilling there together, and I met those guys. Yeah, they were all super cool,
that's awesome. That's
super
awesome.
chill dudes.
Do you still go to Nam or?
No, I haven't. I haven't. I basically had some really close friends at Fender,
Okay.
which I don't know if you've noticed. All the guitars I play are mainly Jackson, which
Yes.
Fender owns Jackson. So I have my Jackson 8 string, my Jackson 6 string. I have a
Yeah.
signature Josh Lane 7 string Jackson that I just got last year. So I'm all in the Jackson family. But
Okay.
Fender actually pulled out, I think, of going to NAMM.
Yep.
So since then, I have not gone to NAMM. So it's been a couple of years.
Okay. Yeah. Plans to go back or just it's just
I
whatever.
mean, I would be down. Yeah, I would be
Yeah.
down to go back. It's just been a while since I've been there. I always had a great time at NAM, dude, playing all the
Yeah. That's
guitars.
what's up. Ever since then, I've always wanted to do Nam. It was one of those things that just kind of popped up back then, but I've never been, and it just seems like just bucket list for me. Just I want to do that.
Oh yeah, no,
So
you'll have a great time, dude. It's awesome
yeah,
just to be surrounded by like nothing but music and creators and just guitars and the
yeah,
best equipment. It's a cool time.
yeah, for sure. I bet I bet it looks fun every time I see someone doing something. It's just all the music dudes hanging out. I mean,
Yeah, exactly,
everywhere. Yeah,
exactly. One day, dude, you'll definitely get there for
for
sure.
sure. I'm trying to get this
You'll get
stuff
in.
off, this interview stuff going, and maybe one day. I'm not very good at these interviews still because I'm nervous and I don't like this to look at myself kind of thing. So
Oh no,
we're
no,
good.
I think you're awesome, man. So I think
Okay.
it's yeah, I think you're doing great.
Awesome. I appreciate that. A couple more questions. That's all we have left. So is there anybody that you like to thank, like specifically for, like wherever you guys are, since you guys are doing all your stuff at home, you don't really have a record or a producer somewhere. It's just you guys. But
Yeah. No, I mean just anyone that supports us really, man. That's where the thanks is for sure. We
yeah.
get a lot of nice kind words and in DMs and shares and stuff. And like I said, the support has been really cool. So that's really where the gratitude for us comes in for sure. Because
Okay.
we're just some dudes that are making music as brutal and as heavy as possible with with the message here and there. And anyone who listens to it or it moves you in some way or affects you in some way, and you want to share some words with us about it, that's what we appreciate for sure.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that means a ton to us. And obviously, we have our support systems as well that that we send it to our friends and stuff, like my
Yeah.
friend Brandon and whatnot for just thoughts and comments and all that. So and just the support in general, we always appreciate that.
For sure. I mean, it's always good to have all those fans that are. You guys seem to be blowing up faster than it's been pretty quick from like the views that
Um,
I've seen and stuff. Like,
Yeah, well, no, I appreciate that, man. It doesn't I'm not too sure. I kind of compare, I guess I compare us to maybe some other I don't know, just other larger bands in the scene. And again, I forget it's not as easy. I know some of these bands they come out with one single and then that single gets like 100,000 plays in a few months and I'm like, "Dang." But there's I think there's elements that maybe help that like the clean singing. Clean singing is a
mhm.
big one because I think the more you start to get into like the brutal, heavy, pig squealy, you start to almost alienate more and more of a fan
Yep.
base. You know what I mean? I mean, even if you look at like that new
Yep.
Slaughter to Prevail song. I just saw it. I guess they just performed it live. I don't think it's
Yeah.
out yet. But even what's his name is doing clean singing now, and I wasn't
Yep.
expecting them to go clean singing. But I understand that there's a cap on how marketable your music is going to be, and without doing clean vocals, the ceiling's only going to go so
Oh yeah.
high. So I totally get that. But no, I appreciate you saying that. For having pig squeals and breakdowns and being brutal and just being, chaotic and whatnot.
Yeah,
I hope it's doing okay. Every day we're trying to just, grow further, faster, wider. Yeah, and again, I forget it's only been like 5 months, but we're definitely hustling out here and trying to just promote ourselves. Aside from just the music too, man, we're pretty much 100% everything. So like even some of the pictures that you see,
yep,
I have DSLR. Kenny has, good cameras. We do that ourselves. The last lyric video, I woke up one day like a few months ago and I was like, I got to learn Adobe After Effects. And I just started making lyric videos. So I'm actually going to make another lyric video for the new single. That's all
nice.
ourselves. I'll do our own photo editing, Photoshop stuff, all the promotion stuff you see on that. It's all done by me with the video stuff, doing playthrough videos and all that.
Yep.
Kenny with the mixing and mastering, our writing. We all have MacBooks and top of the line equipment. Like we're just like doing everything ourselves as
Yeah,
much
it's
as
in-house, man.
possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we don't have to rely or wait on anybody, nothing. We just do it all ourselves
That's
because
awesome.
we can put it out right away. Don't have to pay no one, don't have to wait on anything. And I kind of love it that way, man. It's been pretty cool.
Well, it's better to do it, I feel, in-house, just because as a creative person, I tend to want to control more things. When there's
Right.
less people, you get less people involved, and you get, you want to sound a certain way, or you want to look a certain way, or you do whatever, and it's if it's in-house, it's just easier that way.
Right. No,
Yeah.
exactly, man.
So,
Exactly. Totally agree.
yeah. All right, so I'm gonna nerd out on some guitar stuff. What do you use for your like plugins, and
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
you run yourself
So
through?
So right now, most of the stuff that you've been hearing for Suffer has been on an eight string. So
Yes.
I'm not doing any crazy tuning with that. I know some bands out there like Black Tongue. I like Black Tongue a lot. They do some really low tunings, but no, I'm just in an eight string, and I tuned to drop E. So
Okay.
nothing wild there. But we're running a Neural DSP.
DSP? Yeah.
We've been using the Gojira plugin
Okay.
and kind of tuning the distortion how we like there. We did also use for a long time Bias FX. I don't know if you've heard of
Yes.
Bias.
Yep.
Okay, so Kenny and I are big fans of Bias, and we used Omnis, I think, is the distortion plugin for one of the songs
Okay.
as well. We really like that. We actually just got the Nameless suite from Neural DSP, so we're using that as well. I use Logic to record, to
Okay.
record music. Kenny's a Pro Tools guy, so he uses
Okay.
nothing but Pro Tools to mix and master, and he has a ton of plugins there for all his stuff. And Kenny has a very wide range of instruments, not
Yes.
just guitars from like the John Petrucci models to custom basses, seven
Yeah,
string
I've seen his
basses.
Instagram. He's got
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Kenny has a lot of really expensive, very nice
Yeah.
equipment for sure when it comes to like instruments and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what we've been using. A lot of the samples that we're using are coming from Tune Track
Okay.
for the drum stuff, just like death metal kits, and then we kind of tune the snare and drums and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's kind of what I do too.
Um,
And I have Easy Drummer,
yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
use like the metal plugins and just make the snare a little tighter or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I'm a big fan there too. I also have Get Good Drums,
Hmm.
GGD, and nothing wrong with them either. They're pretty good. I just really like in Tune Track and Easy Drummer, the
Yeah.
interface is just so much nicer in my opinion
Hmm.
to use. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what we're using. And I forget, and I know Kenny's told me a bunch of times he adds a plugin on top of his bass too to make that distortion. And I
Okay.
want to say that's Bias FX. Maybe not. I should know this, and I'm sure I do in my text messages. I forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, his bass is on the last single. You heard it. I think it
Oh,
sounds
it's great. You guys
nasty.
sound that last single sounds nasty. That it's brutal. That shit sounds so good.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Everything, vocals, everything. I'm sure that the vocals for me, the vocals are the hardest to get tight on on
Mhm.
a on a mix. So,
That's
but it
awesome.
sounds great though.
Yeah, and I forget the mic that Kenny has too. Kenny again, he has a really expensive mic for vocals and stuff. So Tony sounds really crisp on
Oh
that. He
yeah.
sounds really good on
Sounds
it.
great on it.
Awesome.
So
Thanks, man. Appreciate
yeah,
that.
no problem. We're all looking forward to the next release now that we know it's every 60 days. So
Yeah, we're trying, man. We're trying. That's I think it pushes us to
to do it,
work
yeah.
together to do it. Otherwise, it's just going to be like, yeah, we're working on it, we're working on it. But as long as we hold ourselves accountable, we'll just push ourselves to put out music. You know what I mean? And
For
that's kind of
sure.
what we want to do. I think I was looking at our Spotify the other day. I think maybe we're like at 7,000 streams since January. Again, probably really baby numbers, but I have to remind myself we just started
You
this. We
just
just
started,
started
man.
pushing. So hopefully that'll continue to go up and grow.
For sure. I'm sure it will. Like I said, I've been listening to it daily, so it's going up slowly because it's just me. So
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
we appreciate that,
Yeah,
man.
no problem. Well, I just want to thank you for for doing this for me because it means a lot
Oh,
to
sure. No,
have
man.
you do this. So,
No, I'm really happy to. I'm glad for your gig at Metal Purgatory.
hmm
That's awesome. I think that's a good move for you. And yeah, no, I'm just happy that you invited us. Honored to be here and talk to you about it, man. So we really
Thank you.
appreciate you.
I'm
And
the one that's honored because, like I said, I was gonna fanboy, and my wife was like, "Don't do that." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do that."
that's
So,
awesome. Well, hey, man, we appreciate it, dude. Thank you very much for that.
well, thank you. We'll be in touch,
Okay.
and we'll definitely keep in touch after this because I know that I was talking to Kenny and Tony, and they want to do another one probably at some point where I can talk to
Yeah,
them too,
that sounds good, man. I'm
and
sure.
then
Yeah, that we'd all be all down for that.
okay, pretty yeah, and pretty soon as well, I'm going to start doing live stream stuff too.
Oh, okay,
And
cool. That'd be sick.
I'll be in contact with you guys, maybe doing like where we watch you guys maybe produce like show us how you run your stuff through your computer and mix and master things, stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay, cool. Yeah, that'd
We're
be
just
sick.
because some viewers don't know that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, that'd be sick, man. I like
okay,
that.
okay.
Hell yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for doing this, and yeah, it was an honor talking to you and meeting you.
Yeah, thanks again, man. Really appreciate the invite, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon, dude.
Awesome. Have a
All
good
right,
one.
thanks, man. Take it
No
easy.
problem. Have a good day, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.